Okay, applications, a few more applications of the Korongo, and I want you to really understand this, all right? There's a difference between the Korongo stance and any stance and a position. The stances are platforms you can use to actually go through an entire fight. They are much more favorable to engage in combat. A position is something that happens in an area that you wind up assuming in the midst of a fight, usually when you're transitioning from one stance to another. Okay? So you could be in this stance right here, and you wind up defending, and then he comes with a crazy like bat swing or something, or maybe he's Batman and he throws a kick, and you have to duck under it. This is a position. This is a position. We train to fight whole fights from a position, but the definition, the actual reality of being in this position means that you are not on an optimum, locale for maintaining a maximum combat where you minimize the likelihood of injury to you and maximize the likelihood of injury to him, or at least you minimize the likelihood of injury to you, which is more important. Yeah. All right. So that's the difference. We train to fight from positions. We train to fight whole fights from positions because we don't want to be in a position wherein we have a weakness, okay, and we're less than capable. But you do not go to a position to initiate a conflict. One of the many tactical mistakes I find, this is an aside here, and I mean it's with no disrespect to anyone, but it's my opinion and I'm going to tell you, right? So one of the many tactical mistakes that I find that especially lower color belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu type guys do is that they'll go to the guard before they start to fight. No. A guard is a position. Yeah. It's not a stance. It's not what you want to go to in order to start. You have something to find yourself in. And if you're very good at it, you can take advantage of people who don't know what to do from that situation. But out here and in the neighborhoods where people are not playing by the rules, I'll give you an example of something that happened just 2 months ago, okay? When a guy who was a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, show them right here, show them the basketball, show them down here. I hope you guys can see that, this walkway down here. I hope all you ladies and gentlemen can see that, this walkway down here by the basketball courts and by the skating courts. Because a purple belt, second strike, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wound up getting to a fight here, and he was fighting two guys, and he was cleaning the first guy's clock. Just took care of the guy, just like that. And then the other guy tried to kick him, because he had slung him out, hit him with that cross choke, it was over. The second guy tried to kick him, and he wanted to block him. The second guy just came out of nowhere, just tried to kick him, and he wanted to block him, and he wrapped the guy up and went for the X-guard. Went to the back, lifted the guy off the ground, and almost got him in a sleeper. But the guy had a skateboard. He tried to hit the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy with a skateboard. The guy defended it and made him release the skateboard. Wrist control, pulled him in, got him in nice and tight on the guard, and even went to mission control on him. Pulled his leg up on him and everything. This guy, the untrained guy, grabbed the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dude by the seat of his pants and by the front of his shirt, and just stood up and dragged him on the concrete from there over to where the swing sets are. To say that it sucked dramatically is a serious understatement, okay? And that is an example of a guy who's used to practicing on mats and who's very, very proficient and not understanding the difference between a stance and a position, okay? If there was a mat, or even if that was grass, if there's anything but concrete, he probably would have cleaned that guy's clock. Dude didn't know what was going on, right? The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy was just smashing. But then that happened, and this is the difference. And this is one of the many, many, many crucial and critical differences between self-defense and sport combat. I want you guys to be aware of that. Okay, now I'm going to go and explore a position, that got most famous, at least in America, through the very first Karate Kid, when he went through the crane stance, all right, in Kung Fu 2, all right? And then those of you guys who watched MMA, you saw Lyoto the Dragon Machida actually use the crane kick against the legendary Randy the Natural Couture and knocked him out with it. Okay? Well, this position has a number of applications. Since this is a fundamentals video and instructional, I'm not going to go through the applications at length. What I need you to do is understand that these applications are available. Okay? These stances here, these positions here, you've seen before. If he throws a shin kick, this is the crane. It's literally the crane. This is the crane position. Okay? And it gives you some really unique counters, which are different than what you see in sports. Usually when you see the short sports, you go here, boom, you got to counter back, and you want to check, all right? In self-defense, there's all kind of other options that are available for you. So the guy will throw the kick, you go here, boom, you get a kick off of the groin, you can do a bunch of other stuff, which I'm not going to get into on this video, all right? There's another thing that can happen, you know, just to make the point clear, okay? You know, you've seen the crane before as well. You just didn't know it was the crane. When you've seen people do this, boom, here, boom, that. The long knee in Muay Thai is the crane stance. The spinning jump knee is the crane. The spinning and jumping knee was crane all day. All right, and my ancestors did that before the kingdom of Siam even existed. So it looked like this. You go here, boom, bam, that. That's the crane. Cranes can fly, crane position right here. See, even they liked it, you know, right? So, so there's all kind of applications to it. Even in so-called grappling, you guys have noticed that that incredible disciplines like catch wrestling or what have you, and others would use something called the baseball slide, right? Well, if you look at the movements of the baseball slide, the first opening parts of it, okay, you know, especially if you're looking at this kind of size disparity, you know, you're not going to be able to get the guy to always step forward into the position you want. He'll do that. He'll anchor you, right? So what you have to do is you pull him, then you want up doing crane wing snap right here, Korongo wing snap right here. So you want to pull in here and pull out right here. You want to craning up, here, craning up, that, okay? From here, you want to snapping crane up this here, or if he's way powerful like he is, he can start ragdolling you, dragging you back, and you wind up having to snap here, swing back up to there. Now that is not even classical, you know, right? But this, if you pay attention, see this foot and this leg, hit the crane here, that's the triangle. It's triangle. I'm trying not to do this because not only do I not want to get into it at length on this instructional because you're not supposed to here, but also my cousin is in a compromised position here. I just want you to be aware through position recognition, those movements are very available. And you notice what I did here. I didn't do the classic here, pull him down here, the leg, turn down, drive. I didn't do that. I just shot my foot through and rolled back up. All right. What did that feel like?
It sucks. I mean, to be quite honest with you, it's a very jarring. I wouldn't even say throw. It's a very jarring. It feels like you're being pushed down to the ground. And but the push, we're mostly being used to being pushed at the top. That one starts at your ankles. So it's almost like you're rolling your ankles and losing your balance at the same time. With someone who doesn't like you is doing it. It sucks. It really does. It sucks.
Well, I want you guys to be aware of that.
Man.
I want you guys to be aware of that. And before you go any further, yes, Oshun is usually the one who pulls that. Oshun and the Mother Yamaya are usually the ones who pull that, followed by Oshosi and the Orishas. No, I'm not going to get into it. No, I'm not going to give you any more. This is just what you need to know, that every single position that I show you has a combat application. Much of what you've seen before, but a great deal you haven't seen before. So I'm going to take this time to plug my next instructionals, which focus upon the basic strikes, combinations, you know, and that that we'll utilize. That would be the second combo pack. The striking, kicking, takedown combo pack. Basic combo packs. Basic combo pack 2. All right. So if you want to pick up some gems, rewind that. Let's go to work. If not, pay attention to what I already taught you about the Korongo and utilize it here and recognize the stance transitions make all of the difference. Even when, if he's grabbing you here and you don't do any attacks, you just simply use this leg or this leg here, stepping here. What I'm gonna do is when I go here, I'm gonna pull back, snap his head, bring his head over his shoulder, pull back here, and just step back. Now I'm in a T stance. And this forces him to go down where I want him to be. Now, from this position, I'm gonna transition toward you, all right, and go into the normal stance. You know how, just a moment. You know how the normal stance is this, right? Well, you go through here. If I push his head this way, crane wing this way, pull his arm here, pull back, step in normal stance, he goes right off of me. It's not a problem. This is stance transition. This is what you can use now. That's applicable to this instruction. Okay? So I want you to practice those type of movements. Standing back here, moving, stepping forward, using the pattern of the Star of David, the 8-point pattern. You know, you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7, depending on what you want, and 8. And then, of course, there's the circle and the square. And you wind up going here, boom, stepping down a circle, or going here, stepping out in a square. Okay? Work those positions. Look at the options that are available to you. Notice when I do that, stepping here, heel toe. All right? Let's go to work. 3 rounds, 5 minutes each, 50 reps around. Let's go to work. Go.